Hi there, I'm your host Corinne, and this is Okay, But Are You Good? Where we check in on ourselves on a weekly basis to see how we're doing. Are we living our best lives, or are we just trying to get by? Well, this week has been a rough one. I was on a good trek for a while, and of course, things happen. You get sick, your schedule changes, your routine changes. And for me, when I get sick, it's like the end of the world. I absolutely hate it, but it happens. And as someone who loves a routine, loves a plan, loves to know what to expect and what's happening at all times, this really bummed me out. So I hope you guys are having a better week than I am, because I love good structure. When I'm not in it, it messes me up entirely in all aspects. It sounds so dramatic, but like I know what works for me and what keeps me going mentally and physically. So when I can't do what I need to like stay happy up here, it sucks. And I just totally spiral and do a complete 180 in the direction I don't want to. Because life happens and it does not care about your routine or your unspoken, fully planned out schedule for the day or the week or the month. And because I've been so thrown off, I've been like, okay, how are we going to handle this? How are we going to realign and readjust until we can get back on track? Because what do we do when life goes unplanned? So I've definitely mentioned this a few times. I love knowing what to expect. And that is why I have nailed down my routine and my schedule for the days and the weeks and the months, blah, 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 all that good stuff. Because I need to know what to expect to a certain degree. I like to wake up, get ready, brush my teeth, go to work, work out, come home, check something off my to-do list, do something for myself, and go to bed and do it all over again the next day. As long as I'm doing something for my mental and physical health, I am stoked. But it's not always going to be like that because we're not living in a cartoon, unfortunately. And things come up. Your family needs you, work gets busy and overwhelming, you have a trip, or your friend is suddenly in town and like you got to adjust your schedule for the week to go see them. You know, not everything has to be like a negative, like why your schedule switched up, right? Like unexpected happy things happen and unexpected bad things happen, like getting sick or mentally so exhausted. And then your perfectly planned, organized week and routine gets thrown off. And this is where I struggle to the extreme. Because one moment I'm like, everything's great. I'm following my schedule. I'm taking care of my mental and physical health. And then bam, it's like a switch gets turned on. And then I go to, oh my gosh, my life is falling apart. You know, just so dramatic and like extreme, like 0 to 100 real quick. And it's like, why does one switch up in the schedule, switch up in your routine, like make me feel like my whole life is falling apart? Like I'm back in that full fight or flight mode just because the routine changed for a little bit. And I think for myself and maybe someone else out there, like consistency is key. And I put a lot of pressure on myself to stay consistent because I know it helps me stay at a good level mentally and keeps me happy. So that's why, like, when I'm not doing what I need to do to keep myself in a good mood, I don't know how to handle it. And I get scared that, like, the longer I'm not doing what works for me, it's just going to prolong this, like, negative dark cloud energy. And, like, no one wants that. I don't want that. I don't want the people around me don't want that. So, like, no one's happy. And that's why for me, I have to plan ahead so much. If I'm going out of town or if there's just like a dinner or something, because I'm like, okay, I have so much on my plate I have to get done. So you got to really be ahead of the game and schedule so I don't get to this moment of like, I'm so stressed out and then I just procrastinate and nothing gets done. I know myself very well to a certain extent. And so that's why I work so hard to not get to that, my breaking point, I guess. So recently when I got sick and, it's like my whole world is ending, I haven't been able to work out. And I was sick enough that I need to postpone my workout routine and like not go full force into like training for my next half marathon. And I'm like devastated. But once I like accepted, like, okay, you got sick, you got to change up your schedule, you got to push things out. I complained about it and got angry or like more so upset of like, shoot, like I'm off my schedule that, I'm feeling better going to physical therapy. Like this next run is going to be my best one yet. Once I got over all that, I was like, you know what? Things like this happen. It's a learning lesson. It's teaching me that like you need to slow down, and the only way to slow me down is if something physically happens or like, which is getting sick or like injuring my knees. It's life telling you got to slow down because something bigger could have happened. That's what I believe in. So I've accepted I have to adjust my workout schedule. I'm not going to be able to go as intense right now, and that's okay. I think it's because I really am eager to get back to the point of movement I was Valentine's Day, and it's August. So it's crazy how much time has come and I haven't gotten there, but I'll get there. It's just going to take more time. And, maybe it wasn't the smartest idea to do multiple runs 3 months apart or whatever the real math is. Like, I think for me, maybe that's too much. And I got to stick to every 6 months instead of every 3 to give yourself time to recover and retrain. It's just life. So, and life happens and things come up that you're unexpected. It's like going to an event, or it's like planning a wedding. You can plan to have 400 people there. They all RSVP, yes. And then the week of, 10 people get sick, or another life event came up for a guest. Like, it's always things are going to happen. They're not going to be able to come to your party. So you have to accept that, like, same thing happens to you, that like, you're going to get sick, plans are going to change, and you just have to adjust your schedule and remind yourself that it is not the end of the world, that you are going to be okay, and that things happen and you have to be able to adjust and adapt to it, and know that like right now, you're not going to be able to do what you want, but like you will get back to that dream schedule, that dream routine you have worked so hard to get to. I really am speaking to myself right now, I guess. And, your routine is supposed to be serving you. It's supposed to be helping you out and help, like, making you happy. So, and that is why we have certain habits we've acquired to make your life better. It's not to like get so upset and feel guilty that you're behind on something, because life is going to happen and you're not going to be able to do everything you want to do all the time, every single day. Except you should be brushing your teeth every day. That there's no excuse for, unless, I don't know, you got your wisdom teeth out or something, because life is going to happen. There's going to be times you can't go to the workout. You can try and move it to the morning, but for me, I know I'm never going to work out in the morning. That is not my vibe. You're going to be out late and then that throws off your next day. But like, it was probably worth going out and seeing your friends or spending time with your family, because you're not going to get that time back. And there's always going to be days you're not going to accomplish everything you thought you would. And that's why we have tomorrow, even though it's not always guaranteed. But you make the most of what you can with what's in front of you and what's available to you. And usually I'm very good at being able to adapt to things, but not being able to work out to the extent that I would like to, and like knowing how much I need that to help my mental health and my like just day-to-day life really is tough for me. But I got to get over it. I got to adjust and make the effort. Now I just have to switch up and do lighter workouts and just like really get my walks in versus just running. And I'm grateful I can even do that. So once I got over the hump and like realized like, okay, the world really isn't ending, you're going to be okay. Things are just paused for a time being, like, you got this. And it's not just the working out. It's just like, I've had to adjust a lot in my schedule from being sick and out of town as well. And like, these people that nail down their routine, they do the same thing, they eat the same foods, they do the same workout. Like, I applaud them, and I am a little bit jealous because I don't think I'll ever be that person because so much happens. So much things come up. I'm constantly moving, I'm constantly traveling or doing something unexpected. Like, I'm not disciplined enough to get to that point, but maybe one day I will. I do what I can with my day-to-day schedule, and I'm really just hoping for the best. And I think, like, I am self-aware, I had my sad time of being sick and like not doing what I want, but it's about knowing when to rest, when to switch up your plan, and knowing that like eventually you will get back on track. And I think that's what I finally come to of like, you got this. Just keep going, do what you can in this moment, and you will get to the point where you want to. That's why we have like long-term goals, short-term goals, and just like really being the present. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm embracing this is my life right now, and I'm going to do the best I can because I literally have nothing else to lose at this point. And I think something I need to remind myself of, like, getting off track isn't starting over from day one or day zero. Just because I've lost a couple weeks or days doesn't mean I lost like the 6 months of everything I've been working towards, because my body still knows how to move. I still know what habits and routines work for me. I still have my hobbies of journaling and reading. I know how to take care of myself. I know what works and what doesn't, even if I tend to forget in my sad moments. And I don't have to wait till the start of next year. We talked about our resets, right? I am resetting now, and I'm glad that I can make that decision for myself. So don't worry. If you've been thrown off, if the reset we talked about didn't happen, you can still restart this week. You can still get back on track if life has lifed for you lately. And it's going to be okay. It has to be, because I want it to be okay. So I'm going to make the effort to keep going. Because maybe we do need these detours in life. I think everything happens for a moment. Life makes you slow down, and sometimes it forces you to slow down. So you do. And that's what I've had to do. And it's not always a bad thing. You feel behind because you went to go spend time with your friend, or you just decided, I don't want to do anything but bed rot and read my book or watch endless TV for the day. Like, you needed that and you took the time. Yeah, maybe you're behind on some things, but you're going to get them done eventually. So just take this day off to reset mentally so you can get back on track. Like, this is your life and you can do what you want with it. At least that's what I have to remind myself when I get stuck in that, like, what do I want to say? Like that endless, like loop of hurry up, don't get behind, like it's like there was a detour somewhere in there of this imaginary loop that made me stop and like take a break, reset, switch up my day-to-day, because I'm not being present. When I have to slow down, it forces you to be present. It forces you to enjoy your life more and not just so focused on maintaining your daily routine to perfection. Because my routine is supposed to help me live my life, not prevent me from living it. So right now, that's why I'm telling myself, hey, you got sick, your routine's off, you're okay. Everything's good. And I'm asking myself, what do I need to do now? I need to rest. I need to reset and simply just have fun. Like, prioritize my time with family and friends, because sooner than later, I will get back to my routine. It's there. It's my made up schedule I have to keep me on track. So it's not going anywhere. I forgot. But hey, Corinne, this is your reminder. It's still there, still up here. So if you've been feeling like you've fallen off your schedule lately, maybe life just needed to happen and you needed to slow down. And not everything has to be perfect every single day, because we never know what's going to happen, and you have to adjust and change up your routine and go down that detour life has taken you on. Because eventually we can come back, or we can just keep going down the detour and adjust our schedules. Because this is your reminder for me and for you that getting thrown off track doesn't mean you've lost your way. Sometimes you just have to find your way back. I think that's what I'm trying to learn and remind myself of. I want to be disciplined. I want to have a routine. I want to be disciplined to a certain extent with my schedule. And I really just want to leave room to enjoy life and be so present. That is such a hard thing for me, but I'm working on it. Because the goal isn't to have this perfectly planned out day-to-day schedule. The goal is to be happy and live a life that works, that you want to wake up for every single day. So don't forget that. And I want to thank you so much for listening in. Don't forget to ask yourself, okay, but are you good? And make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all next week. Bye.